Hey, this video is dedicated to my man P. He wanted me to do this tier list for the past couple days, so let's get to it. Comment down below your video ideas to be featured in the next video. All right, here we go. We're gonna be basing this off of Deriz, the official tier list from the tier list channel. However, we're gonna have to make some changes because it is a little bit outdated. So here we go. All right, first up, we got the C tier. And yes, guys, we're starting all the way with Divines. The reason being is the thing about dungeons is if we take a look, you're gonna really have to get to the top tiers. Because if we go over here to the quest, oh my gosh, the quest, you're going to see most of the good rewards are at the end. Look at this. 1 raid key and a bunch of rubies. So in order for you to get the real benefits, you're going to really want to do, get, to a pretty high floor. So remember that. So we're going to start off with the C tier. Now, these units are all like okay. They're going to get you kind of far, but there's going to be a few, basically a lot of these units have higher SPAs, etc. Now, I will say Whis is not too bad, but a lot of them are either like old, so their damage is outdated, or they just have like a slow SPA like Saber and Ichigo, where they're just not as worth it. So these guys are okay. You might get a few, but it's going to be hard for you to beat the dungeons with these C tier units. Now, also in C tier, I am going to put a couple of the new units. So I am going to put in the 2 new Galis into this list onto the C tier. They're both actually pretty good, but they're not like super cracked out. But if you guys are trying to be a new player into the dungeons, these units are definitely going to help you out. So these are kind of like in my opinion, the go-to dungeon units for new players that aren't like freaking Divines. All right, next up we have the B tier. Now you're gonna see we have like some of the worst ultimates in here. So like these guys are okay. They're gonna get you a little bit farther, but they're not really that cracked. And we also even have Zoro Gali up here. So Zoro Gali just apparently isn't really people's favorite units. Light is really good for like high damage, high damaging, so pretty decent. So these guys are okay, but a lot of them are more like geared towards infinite mode units like Miriam and Akainu. But overall, they're okay, but just not like super cracked. So you might be able to get far with them, but I personally wouldn't like summon for these units in general. All right, next up we got the A tier. So these guys are way more useful. Kizaru's nice because of his range and SPA. And again, same with these units. They're pretty nice with their placements and damage. This guy has pretty high damage as well. So does Gon. So these are kind of just like good overall units to have if you guys aren't super cracked. But again, they all are ultimate, so they are kind of all hard to get. So that is the one thing about dungeons. It's kind of hard to beat dungeons if you're not a pro player. So if you want me to make like a good beginner team for dungeons, let me know. I can make that in a separate video. All right, next up we got the shield breaking. So basically there's a bunch of shield units in the dungeon. So you're gonna want to have fast SPA units like Superman and Gilgamesh. Now Gilgamesh does more damage, but Superman has 5 placement and like a 0.2 SPA, I think. So Superman is absolutely cracked for shield breaking. I personally think he's better than Gilgamesh. The only problem with Superman is his range is not as good as Gilgamesh's. Zero Two also has a fast SPA, but I believe she has a 3 placement if I remember correctly. So Superman's definitely better. Aroma's pretty decent with the multi-hit. Gojo is, and these are all the TS units. This guy does have a fast SPA though as well. He's pretty nice. And honestly, a lot of these guys also have that like multi-hit kind of a deal. So these guys are all pretty good for breaking the shields. So try to have at least one of them on your team. And you should be pretty much good to go for those. All right, here we go. Here we have like the best effect units. If you want to go with the effect unit strategy, Denji's really good because of his he's a good starter unit, and he also has the nice effect, which you can stack and get a lot of bonus. Roy Mustang also got a buff recently. I probably should do a video on it, but apparently he's actually cracked now. So let me know if you guys want me to make a video on him, because I forgot I never showcased his insane buff. And then a lot of these units are just good for like burn, fire, etc. They're good for higher HP units, and some of them are good for like slowing as well. So these are kind of decent effect supports. There are some better ones later on I'll show. So these ones are like the best supports. All right, Anya has like the insta kill ability. Ooh, I guess they don't have where's Toga? I guess Toga isn't really used as much anymore. I know there's a better version of Toga, but it is what it is. Dragon wise, I personally don't like Golden Drago that much. If you're running with a team of multiple people though, you can bring Golden Drago, but I personally like these 3 Dragos the best. Range just doesn't always help you. It only helps for some units. Doflamingo's nice because it has 2 effects in one. Same with Todoroki. Blackbeard's nice because he has a unique effect, so I really like him. Thor's also nice because he has the electrified effect and good damage. And Rodeus is pretty good as well, but I really like this guy. Now there's this farms aren't always worth it because there's some challenges in dungeons where there is no farming, so you have to be careful with the farms. So you might end up wasting a slot, but she's obviously the best farm. Bulma's though good enough. And I think if the Reaper farms, I forget what it is. There's one farm you can get like a unique farm. They might have patched that, but unique farms used to be the GOAT. Or otherwise, you might just want to get a brute. If you get a brutish farm, that's usually pretty good as well. So good stuff. And then we have the meta DPSs. So I'm gonna be honest, guys, these units are pretty insane to get. So if you guys have these units, you're officially a pro, and you probably don't even need this list. But yes, this guy Sung Jin Woo's the best unit in the game. Sid's pretty up there. Broly's pretty up there. Whitebeard Prime's pretty up there. I personally like Adult Gon a lot. He's one of my favorite units. And then the other version is non-shiny Sid. And then we got Greybeard's probably the easiest unit to get that's OP. So if you're a newer player, I definitely recommend getting Greybeard as one of your first divines. And Dark Gon is no longer in the banner, but he's good if you had him. So there you go, guys. There's the dungeon tier list. And remember the units I added in on the C tier. So let me go add those in the C tier right now. Wait. I forgot. We have a couple more units to add. So let me go add in all the new units as well. So let me go, I'll get our tier list over here. And we'll make it a little bit bigger. Here we go. So let me get these new units in there. So I'm going to put these guys into the C tier. And then we also have Igris. Now, Igris I like a lot, but I think Igris is more of an A tier unit in my opinion. We also have Sung Jin Woo Mythical. He's not good at all, guys. You can kind of see his stats. So I'm not really going to bother ranking him on the list. And then we also have Che. She's one of the divines. She's actually really good. You can see her stats here. I'm actually going to put her on the list into the... I'm going to move her over to the B tier. I personally think she's a decent divine. So let me get her all the way up here into the B tier. Looking good. Let me adjust the sizing a little bit. They fit on a little bit better. There we go. And then we also, of course, guys, have Ultimate Igris. You can kind of see his damage. 1.64 million with heroic. Yeah, let's just say this guy's absolutely beastly. He has some pretty mental damage. Look at that, 1.6 million. So his damage is actually insane. Personally, I think with that insane damage, in my opinion, he definitely deserves the meta DPS tier. You can kind of decide where on the tier you want to put him, but Igris is very, very good, and he definitely deserves the meta tier. Now, I'm going to go over now some units that didn't make the cut on the list that I personally think are actually, like, pretty decent. So let's go over here to the godlies. Some godlies that I actually like. Mel's is not half bad. There's a lot of ones you want, like, the faster SPAs. Flash is also pretty good, guys, if you want a shield break, because he is multi-hit. So he actually has just as fast as Superman, and he's really easy to get. And same thing with Rock Lee as well. This Rock Lee, 0.2. So he has a very, very fast SPA. You can use him to break shields as well. And he's only a rare, which is very nice. So just a couple units you guys can use if you don't want to get Superman or Mythics if you're a new player. So comment down below what you want me to do next in the video. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.